Hey there, folks. It's been a productive day. Let's go to CSSBattle.dev and do the daily target. And here it is. Quite a shape. I think like yesterday, there's rotates that could be deployed to do this. Thinking about it, I start to think about what it would look like to do this one using only gradients, and if that's a good idea or not. Probably not. But it just has me curious about it. So if I did the top half and did only gradients, oh, I'm feeling cheeky. I'm going to zero out the margins of everything. Margin 0. And then put on the body this. And then have this be, what, 150 tall. And what does it take to create this shape using only gradients? And then I can do the upside down version as well. So we'll go ahead and we'll do the whole thing. So P is going to be flipped upside down. So scale -1. All right. So if I'm doing that, what are the steps? It's yellow and blue and yellow. Okay. So let's remove the background. Remove the pink from the background. We need some gradients. And I'm going to go top to bottom. I don't know that makes a lot of sense, but that's how I'm going to do it. Let's do a conic gradient from an angle from 95 degrees yellow, and it's probably 25%, and then like that. Okay. So if I put that at a point at 40%, 20%, how about 30%? How about 18%? And then I guess that angle needs to be what? From 100 degrees? 101, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. And let's do this from numbers rather than percentages. 50 pixels. I'll just do 50, 50. I know those are wrong, but that's okay. 100, 110, 20, 40, 30, 25. So I just made one piece of that. Okay. So now I need to cover that up. Let's do, and probably we're going to have the same thing again in a minute. For the smaller rectangle, right? So let's do a linear gradient. Linear gradient. So we're now with the blue. Comma. Let's say, is it 20 degrees? Blue. 10%. We'll do percentage again. So it'd be minus 20 degrees. And then 50%, 40. So that angle's wrong. 1, 2. I'm trying to make this parallel. 19, 18, 17, 16. I'm trying to make a parallel line, 15 degrees. And then do a number. So I'll do pixels again. How about 50 pixels? 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 11, 12. And you can see the problems forming. But we'll do another conic gradient on top of that. Again, we're probably gonna have to back this out. That's okay. Oh, and worse, this one's bounded. So we need to move this over more, 200, 200, and then down, 50, 70, 80. So see the shape. This is fun. So yeah, we're gonna have to dump this eventually, but I kind of want to pull the thread as I do. 110, 169, 111. let's see what terrible score we get out of this monstrosity. Yeah, so that's a 91%. Not very good. Now, can we put it at 0, 0, give it a width, 100 pixels, or rather, what's the way to, can we do that shape in a way that makes sense? Can we do a conic gradient? No, we can't really. So kind of, we can kind of do it, but then we're going to get to that edge and it's no good, right? Because we're going to have to do another layer anyway, and that's a bummer. That's a real bummer. 2, 3, no, not that. I like doing it this way, even though it's not going to work. Linear gradient, and this is the covering gradient. Oh, we need an angle, 10 degrees, and then this color again. 100 degrees. Minus 110 degrees, something like that, and then 10 pixels, 0. Oh, and I need this to be transparent, not black. All right, what did I do? Okay, so the angle's wrong. 110. This has got to be more parallel. 109. 8, 7, 6, 5. And then this number needs to be greater. 80. No, worth 7, 6, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Fun though, super fun. 2. Oh, look at that, kind of interesting. Anyway, what? Anyway, what are we gonna do now? That's 99.8% match. It shouldn't be. Like, it doesn't look great to me, but I also know it's close, right? 60, 62. Oh, interestingly, it's not perfectly Like there's something asymmetric about it, or just I just don't understand the figures well enough. All right, time to stop. This is super fun, but it's clearly the wrong way to go about this. All right, I'm not going to follow that to 100%. So what do we need to do? We need to make 3 figures, I believe. And so what do we do to make this? What are our choices? The other thing to think about is for a figure like this is potentially using a clip path, which is also kind of an interesting one to do. But I think the rotate approach, which I haven't even started on yet, is the right one. Okay, so we get some figure. We're going to have a yellow, and then the blue, and then another yellow. So let's do the first one. Rotate is going to be a var of -- r, or some value, 30, 20. Let's get it done. And I've of course forgotten entirely whatever the angles were that I used, which is, you know, kind of a bummer. 4, 5, okay. How about 13, 14, 15? Totally reasonable mathematical number. 37, 70, 80, and then the height 200. 200 looks good. 82. Boom. Very pretty and a very nice match. Much better than what we had going before. So now I'm going to do what? Minus 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And then the second one, P plus P. The background of that is a different number. That. And those margins, that margin is 60, 112? No, less. 42. And then the rotate is probably, well, I don't know. What is it? So we need an R. -- R is minus 100 degrees. Let's try that. Minus 10. Oh, and let's set a height. The height is some smaller number. Height of 100. 120. And that angle is wrong. How about 15? Minus 15. Okay, great. 70, 80, 90. And then 30, 20. 22. Perfect. So I'm going to variabilize several of these things. Var m is this, and then -- m. And then the background is going to be var of b, or that number, and then I can do -- b. And then the height is also a var -- h. And then -- h. And that is a match. And then when I do the next one, so now I'm going to specify, this is not about, change the selector to that, and then I'm going to add what? C. Oops. C as the next selector that is going to be specific. So C, and then I'm going to scale minus 0.5, and then translate 0 minus 100 pixels. 200, 300, 120, 180. So I think what we're seeing, let's see, 4, 3. Yeah, not quite. Close. So what if we do the scale a little bit differently? We do on the x-axis is 0.4, and then on this it's 0.2 or 0.3. Oh, look at that. Not too bad. 3, 5, 3, 5, 6, 7, 5, 5, 4, 5, 5, 5, 6, 5. Let's see if that gets it. That might get it. So with some, so we're a scale on the x-axis. We're doing 36.5% of the width, and then 30% of the height, and we got to 100%. So that's one way to do that. We could also do margin values. I kind of want to do that too, but then we also need to choose a height, I think, as well. Why not? Let's do it all. We'll do it all. Okay, so I'm going to comment those out and say the margin is 90, 200, no, 170. And then I'm going to have a minus value here, minus 90. Well, minus 120, probably. 30, 40. And then set the height. The height is 30% of a height of 120. Is that right? Is that what I want? That's not an even number. How about 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 50. And then up more. Change that height to be 60. And then change these margins to be less 6, 5, 52. Boom. So not too bad, and a little less strange than the scales that did work and got us to 100%. But this is a little simpler, and this is more in keeping with how we decided to do it, which is rotate value, height value, margin value. Are there other optimizations we can make? I don't see any. Let's minify and unit replace and submit, and we're done. Super fun, super duper fun, and a tricky one. And obviously, you know, you can do anything with background gradients, but sometimes background gradients get really ugly for a design like this, where you have things which don't cleanly line up. Yeah. Do I want to try another solution? Not today. Not today. I don't have the time today. But I find myself thinking about clip path solutions, which would be kind of interesting to do as well. So, but you still end up making 3 elements. The other thing about clip paths is that the thing you don't think about is, you know, it'd be nice to use a box shadow sometimes for something. And this, I guess, is where the case where WebKit Reflect could be useful too. I'm not a big fan of WebKit Reflect, but I know that folks get good mileage out of it, and great players do as well. So, you know, kudos to you if you manage to use like a WebKit Reflect to do something like this, which would be super fun. All right. Thanks for watching. Go make a web page. Be good to yourself, be good to others, and take care. Thanks for watching. Bye.